The Spotlight brought to you by Beacon Plumbing.
Good evening and welcome to The Spotlight. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Rose, and tonight we're going to pay tribute to a hero.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Now to a News 4 exclusive. A little boy set on fire in Connecticut, left covered in second and third degree burns. This smiling child now potentially disfigured, and his family says it was no accident. News 4's Anjali Hemphill brings you the story from Bridgeport. We do need to warn you, the details are disturbing.
So look what they did to this little boy. Heartbreaking, man. When I saw this story, I was going to do it earlier. I wanted to wait for more details. But my heart sunk into my stomach, man. It was so disturbing to see what was done to this little boy. You know, because I know the extent of how bad the bullying can get when you're a young kid like this. You know, it's despicable. Okay, a lot of these kids are evil. And what I will say from my research, looking into this story, apparently it was an 8-year-old boy who he was seeking approval from, right? You're the younger kid in the neighborhood and you want to hang with the older kids. That's normal. And they violated his trust. They violated his friendship. And it's disgusting. And the worst part about it is that this 8-year-old boy who did this to him, his mother is denying that he even did it and not holding this child accountable. So that kind of gives me a hint on who it was.
Here's how police say it went down. Mauricio Martinez Yanez and Anthony Barajas stormed into the store, guns drawn, while Rex Ekman, the third member of the crew, waited behind the wheel of the getaway car. Anthony Barajas is no stranger to the law. He was featured on Washington's Most Wanted in December of 2020 for a heist at a gun store in Kitsap County that netted the crooks 100 firearms. You can see on this video, Barajas is used to working in a crew, and he's no stranger to breaking the law. Barajas presses his pistol into the back of the young female clerk, forcing her upstairs into the office, turning this from an armed robbery into a kidnapping. Inside the office, he forces another worker to open the safe and leaves with a fat stack of cash. Take a look at Martinez Yanez. That's a real deal Israeli-made Uzi in his hand, capable of shooting full auto. Well, during the robbery, somebody at the pot shop hit a panic alarm, tipping off Bellevue police, who rushed to the scene. Officers were able to establish probable cause for the robbery and kidnapping, so they started pursuing the getaway car and got word to surrounding police departments. The suspects left Bellevue on the I-90 bridge heading west. Then they got on I-5 south to MLK Way, where they drove in and around Renton, where one of the suspects lives. By this point, Bellevue Police, the State Patrol, Seattle Police, and Renton Police were all in on the pursuit. The suspects left Renton and headed back to Seattle along Rainier Avenue. It was there between Cornell and Pilgrim Street that they blew out a tire and started driving on a rim, shooting out sparks. The trio turned off of Rainier onto Orcas Street in Columbia City. They ditched the car at 39th and Orcas. The suspects hoofed it. Turns out Ekman is slower than his friends. Cops caught him running a few blocks away near a house in the 3600 block of South Finley Street and arrested him.
And so prayers out to this family, man. It's insane.
These images of 6-year-old Dominic Krankel are heartbreaking. Laying in a hospital bed, most of his body swollen and bandaged up after he suffered second and third degree burns to his face and legs from what his family says was a horrific attack by a bully.
The bully called his name and lured him over around the corner, and within a matter of seconds he came back around the corner screaming, saying, "Mommy, they lit me on fire. They lit me on fire."
And they're not revealing the identification of the bully because he is a minor. But, you know, I'm going to keep doing my research and see if we can get anything on at least his parents or something, because This is obvious. This bully is obviously raised in a single mother household. And the mother is not holding this child accountable. The mother is still denying that the child even did this act. So like I said, that gives me a lot of clues on who did it, because we know that there is a community out here, and they absolutely do not hold themselves nor their children accountable for the despicable things that they do in society.
Dominic's sister, Kayla Deegan, says on Sunday afternoon, Dominic was playing in the backyard of their home off Louisiana Avenue with other kids who live below them, when Kayla says their 8-year-old neighbor got into a shed on the property and gained access to some gasoline and lighters. She says the boy then called her little brother over.
He poured gasoline on a tennis ball, took a lighter, lit it up, and just chucked it right at him.
Wow. This kid could have killed Lil Dominic. It's disgraceful, man.
Hit my brother's face and then ran away from him and watched him burn.
Tonight, Dominic is lucky to be alive. But what happened has his loved ones outraged, because they say this isn't the first time the bully has put him in the hospital, previously for a concussion.
2 months ago, under the bully's mother's supervision, he was pushed into a wall and fell to the floor. And again, the mother refuses to admit her kid did it.
News 4 went by.
Let's get an ID on this mother, man, because at some point we have to start holding these single mothers accountable. Okay? This is absolutely a single mother issue.
I don't hear them concerning themselves about the blacks who are the victims of the people who are doing wrong.
But they did not want to talk. And all police will say is up to 4 unattended children were seen playing with gasoline and lighting objects on fire. The incident is currently still under investigation as to the exact cause of the burn injuries. Meanwhile, Dominic's loved ones say they want justice.
It's heartbreaking. It's sickening to know that the family, there's nothing being done about this. This needs to be seen everywhere so everyone knows Dom's story and what he had to go through.
And this is why I wanted to do this story, man. I mean, look how cute this little boy is. You can tell he just wanted to play. He just wanted to be accepted. And like I said, man, this one, it really does weigh heavy on my heart, because I've seen kids, young kids his age, older even, getting bullied, severely bullied. And this, I mean, they've disfigured this young boy, man, and the mother refuses to hold her child accountable, even though this child has harmed Lil Dominic before. So I would definitely be interested to see who these people are, man, because this is definitely scum of the earth activities.
And the extent it went to for someone to hopefully do something.
Dominic's family has set up a GoFundMe page to help them pay for hospital expenses, and so they can move out and find somewhere else to live. As of now, no one is facing charges.
Okay. Victim of bullying now becoming the center of positive attention today. Law enforcement put on a cruiser parade to support a 6-year-old boy in Bridgeport who's recovering now from severe burns. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Audrey Russo was there and has the details.
And there's really no coming back from this. His figure, his face will never be the same. Even if they try skin grafts and all that stuff.
A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, I can first. Okay, so this time.
This is truly, it's sickening, man, that these kids are so demented. Okay? It's insane.
Well, it was quite a showing out here in Bridgeport. Officers not only from the city but from all around the state drove through the hospital just to show Dominic he's not alone.
We're with you 100%. I hope it's a message that will continue to give him the strength that he needs as he goes through from here forward.
Okay, I can first.
From the middle of Bridgeport Hospital's traffic circle, the lights and sirens lit up a path of support for 6.
There's not enough people here, man. It's not enough people here. And shout out to these officers, first responders, the real heroes, showing their support to this kid. I know that means the world to him. But people should be outraged about this. There should be a huge uproar. Okay? And you can see like the people who are actually want to address this issue. It's not enough, man.
6-year-old Dominic. His family says the boy was the victim of bullying this past Sunday. They say a ball that was lit on fire was thrown at his face. But this morning, Dominic was full of enthusiasm, waving at every car that passed by his hospital room. First responders showing an important message of what the future could hold, as Dominic has expressed a goal to become a police officer one day. Until then, doctors say his bravery is astounding them all.
He is a tough little young man, and his spirits are actually very good.
One of the doctors from Bridgeport Hospital says Dominic's recovery could take weeks to months. In Bridgeport, Audrey Russo, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
New at 10, a horrific incident involving a young boy fighting for his life tonight in the hospital. This after police say he was badly burned over the weekend.
And as that little boy recovers, the community is coming together to support him and his family, still distraught and horrified at what happened. Fox 61's Alicia Machado spoke with his family tonight.
The family tells me this has been a really difficult week. They say Dominic has third-degree burns to his face and leg, but they're thankful for the showing of support they've received from the community.
It just breaks my heart. He's just the funnest, best kid in the world, and he just didn't deserve this.
6-year-old Dominic Krankel is in for a long recovery after his family says his face and leg were burned by gasoline that was lit on fire. According to a police report, multiple children were seen playing with gasoline and lighting objects without supervision Sunday afternoon on Louisiana Avenue. Krankel's older sister and father horrified to see what happened to the 6-year-old in their neighborhood.
And now it resulted in this to my baby brother laying in a hospital bed who could have burnt to death. He can barely sleep, he can barely eat, he can barely talk. It's not fair. Just seeing him like that just makes me want to break down.
His sister says he has third-degree burns on his face and leg. His face and eyes also swollen. We've blurred these photos the family shared with us because this may be difficult for some to see. Bridgeport Police and Fire are investigating the incident and working to find out more about how exactly this all happened. But the family doesn't feel safe returning to their home.
It's one of the hardest things we've ever had to go through. And again, I can't imagine what he's feeling. And I never want another child to go through something like this because this is horrendous.
The community is stepping in to offer assistance to the family through messages of support, food, and donations to GoFundMe. Father Aaron Krankel says the support has helped carry them through this difficult time.
I'm telling Dominic, all these people love you and care about you. And everyone's really helping. The whole community's coming together. We already have people that people that don't know us. They're gonna move us out. And, yeah.
Wow, man. I can't imagine the feeling if this happened to my child. The rage, the anger, the sadness. His life is forever altered at such a young age.
It's really a lot.
The family has set up a GoFundMe to help pay for hospital bills and their search for a new home.
Police figured out the other two suspects were hiding in a shed behind a house on South Findlay. The home is owned by an 86-year-old woman. The Spotlight's Matt Markovich spoke with her son during the madness.
Just random that happened to park in front of your mom's house?
Oh, yeah, it's random as hell.
That woman was inside at the time.
I'm worried. My mom, of course, but surprised, nope.
An SPD SWAT team arrived, along with a K-9 unit from Kent. Seattle police took over with teams from the State Patrol, Bellevue, and Renton standing by. Barajas and Martinez Yanez are holed up in the shed. Barajas with a pistol containing a 24-round extended magazine. Martinez Yanez with his Uzi.
2 people.
SPD released this body camera footage.
Red coat, show me your hands. Both your hands.
Showing the dramatic final moments of the standoff. They faced off with SWAT officers from SPD armed with M4s.
Red coat is armed. Took a shot at officers. He's down inside the shed, but still moving.
In this body cam footage, you can see the restraint as an officer holds back, allowing Barajas to do the smart thing and surrender. Barajas drops to the ground as Martinez Yanez opens fire with the Uzi. SPD dropping him with a hail of gunfire. Moments later, cell phone video from neighbors captured his body being carried out by SWAT team officers. The 2 suspects who survived were cuffed and taken to Bellevue for questioning. They appeared in court on Thursday, Eckford telling the judge he didn't know his friends were going to pull off a robbery. The judge didn't buy it, giving him $100,000 bail. Barajas is being held on $500,000 bail.
A Bridgeport family is weighing in their possibility of moving after they say their son was burned in a bullying attack.
Today, the first responders from around the state will be joining together to support the 6-year-old boy who is recovering now at Bridgeport Hospital. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Audrey Russo is live in Bridgeport now to tell us what they'll be doing. And Audrey, we understand
she called.
Dominic has an affinity for first responders.
Nicole Wendell, that's right. When law enforcement and first responders learned that Dominic wants to become a police officer when he grows up, they knew they had to do something. So they're bringing the cruisers to him today in the form of a parade that the 6-year-old can watch from his hospital room as he continues his long recovery.
Pushing him, tripping him, there's always been some type of issue.
Aaron Krankall says his 6-year-old son Dominic has been bullied since they moved to their Bridgeport neighborhood last year. Krankall says those problems reached a tipping point on Sunday. Preliminary reports show kids were playing in Dominic's backyard, lighting objects on fire. One of those objects, Aaron says, was tossed at Dominic's face. According to a GoFundMe set up for the family, Dominic suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns. That fundraising page has exceeded the $50,000 goal, raising more than $272,000. Some of that money, the family says, will be used to move into a new home, as they no longer want to stay in the Louisiana Avenue neighborhood where Dom was hurt. In the meantime, they're grateful for the support that's already poured in.
We have people bringing us dinners to my family before I get home so they have dinner to eat. And we've had, relatives and aunts and people coming over and cousins coming over and helping out. And just, it's been amazing.
And the support pouring in on that GoFundMe page is intense. There are messages from people from as far away as San Francisco and New Zealand. That other show of support, the parade that's happening, is going to happen at 10 o'clock this morning. Live in Bridgeport, Audrey Russo for Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Audrey.
The boy is facing a long, painful recovery after his family says he was severely burned while being bullied. It happened Sunday in the child's home. Now the community is rallying around Dominic and his entire family.
Yeah, it happened right actually in the backyard of Dominic's home. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Audrey Russo is live now in Bridgeport, which is where Dominic is still recovering. And we understand, Audrey, that there's something happening later that's going to lift Dominic and his family's spirits. Tell us about it.
Nicole Wendell, that's right. Law enforcement and first responders are going to be bringing the lights, the cruisers, the excitement to the hospital in the form of a parade that the 6-year-old can watch as he continues his recovery. They're doing this because they learned that Dominic one day wants to become a police officer.
It's just been a lot, just watching him in this pain, and it's really been tough.
The father of 6-year-old Dominic watched his son's emotional pain turn into physical pain. Aaron Krankall says Dominic has been bullied since the family moved to Bridgeport last year.
What I'll say, man, this is way past bullying. Okay, this is way past bullying. This is attempted murder. He could have killed this kid. And guys, I'm searching hard, trying to figure out who this 8-year-old boy is. Apparently, they lived in the apartment below Dominic and his family's. So I'm looking hard. I'm trying to figure out who this kid is. It looks like it's a pretty rough neighborhood. And obviously, rightfully so, this young boy is scared to return home. Because it doesn't stop here, okay? With these bullies, they're going the extra mile. as you can see, and it's disgusting, man.
But playing in his backyard Sunday, preliminary reports say a group of kids were playing with gasoline and lighting things on fire. Aaron says one of those flaming objects was thrown at Dominic's face. It's been several days, and Aaron says the boy will likely spend another week in the hospital.
All he wants to do is go outside and play, and he's asking, when can I go out and play again? Can't give him an honest answer. We were supposed to go fishing Sunday night. That was our plan.
Now, this parade gets underway at 10 o'clock this morning. In the meantime, there's also a GoFundMe page that has raised more than $280,000 for Dominic and his family. Live in Bridgeport, Audrey Russo for Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, guys, so I'm just going to show you guys some footage from the parade. I'm looking online. I am looking online, and what it appears, from my opinion, from everything that I've seen, and the fact that they're not releasing any information on the family nor the 8-year-old kid who did this, I think it's safe to say that it was a super gremlin on demon time. And the reason why I say that is because, for one, the family is being, the bully's family is being protected. That's obvious, okay? For two, the mother, which stood out to me. And look, there goes Dominic, man. Cute little boy. Waving. I mean, this really hits hard, man. Even before this video, I'm kind of tearing up because I know how extensive the bullying can get, especially in schools in the community, especially when you're innocent, and those super gremlin kids see your innocence. They want to take that from you. They want to steal your joy, because a lot of these kids in the community are just straight up haters, bruh. I can tell you that from firsthand experience, right? Raising a kid like this, violent kid like this, protecting him, saying that he ain't do nothing. All right? There's no reason why this kid should be protected, and that's why I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, I honestly think it was a super gremlin kid. Okay? I think this 8-year-old was a super gremlin. I think his mother is a super single gremlin mother.
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, I can first. Okay, so this time.
And it looks like they are working very hard to conceal the identity of this kid. And you know, if anybody in that area or the family you know, sees this video, obviously they know the family who is being protected. Look, man, reach out to me. Get some information out there. I don't think they should be able to sleep comfortably, especially the mother.
Okay, I can first.
I think his mother is a super single gremlin mother. All right. And they severely altered this kid's life, okay? It's insane. I feel so bad for this kid, man. I really do. I feel so bad for this kid. And like I said, guys, I'm working. I'm trying to figure out who this kid is. But they're concealing it. Maybe I can, I don't know, try Reddit or something. Hopefully somebody knows. And I think somebody should put the information out there. I don't care. I don't care how, if this kid's a minor or not, okay? Me personally, I don't care, man. This type of stuff needs to be called out, okay? And he's doing this over and over again.
Stop the schools from disciplining black kids, males who misbehave in school. I don't hear them concerning themselves about the blacks who are the victims of the people who are doing wrong.
And he's probably bullied other kids. Okay? Jesus, man. This is tough, man. I mean, look, his whole face is bandaged up. So I'm really looking for some information that reveals, you know, some type of identity on at least the mother, because the fact that she is defending the actions of her child is egregious. Okay? It's a reality. So I don't think they should be able to sleep in peace. I don't think they should be able to just stay. And the Crankle family or Crankall family has to leave. It's ridiculous, man. So like I said, shout out to these first responders. We're gonna get some I'm gonna turn the volume up so you guys can see kind of what these people at the parade were saying. You know, they're showing their support, and I would do the same thing, man. I would do the same exact thing. So let's get the volume.
Well, the good news in this is, as we stand here, we're at Yale New Haven Health with as I call it, the best burn unit in anywhere, and he's getting treatment from the finest. And then to have a community, an entire state come and rally to say we're with you 100%. I hope it's a message that will continue to give him the strength that he needs as he goes through from here forward. So I want to thank Ann Diamond on behalf of the hospital. Maybe you can say a couple words, and the doctors are here if it's appropriate for them to say anything as well.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out today to really support our very special young man, Dominic. This is an amazing show of support from law enforcement, fire, all across our state.
So what I'm looking up, guys, is in the state of Connecticut, if you're under 14, you can't be charged as an adult. And if he's charged as a juvenile, pretty much nothing will happen, okay? So it doesn't look like this kid will receive any consequences, especially since his family is backing his decision. So like I said, this is definitely super gremlin activity, I believe. It's a little more sophisticated with the fire and the tennis ball and the gasoline. I think that is what, you know, gives me reservations as to just wholeheartedly say. But in my opinion, that's what I'm finding online. Like I said, we don't have an identity on the parents or the child. But from these forums that I'm looking at and the demographics, and then just people emailing me and saying they know the area, that's what I'm getting. I can't confirm nor deny that, but what we do know for a fact is that these super toddler gremlins are on demon time.
State, and I think it just really shows what a great community we all live in. And I know he is most appreciative and watching us from the window right now and really taking this all in. So thank you all for coming, and let's finish this parade so the young man can see the rest of the enforcement. Just like that.
Do you want the doctors at all? Anyone?
What's the status of the investigation right now?
All right, hold on to that 1 second. Let me see if we get the doctors here. They want to say.
Okay, you heard what he said. He asked what's the status on the investigation. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let's not get to the suspect. Let's not get to the perpetrator of this crime. They don't want to address it. That's why, to me, it feels like Super Gremlin on Demon Time activities.
Yourself, but in case there's appropriate questions for them that they can answer.
Hi, how are you?
His prognosis.
Well, we can't really talk too much about his, his medical care, but he should expect a full recovery.
Doctor, we know he's in fair condition. Tell us a little bit about his spirits. What have you encountered when you've seen him?
He is a tough little young man, and his spirits are actually very good. He's very, very, very grateful for all of the, as well as his family. His mom and dad have both said how grateful they are for all of the support that they are receiving.
And what kind of role does that play in recovery, having such good spirits?
It's actually one of the things that's very critical. We're lucky to have an incredible child life specialist as part of our team, and the reason why we do that is because it's very important to have a positive attitude when you're recovering. If you feel like you have no hope, then it actually makes it much more difficult to recover. So things like this are really meaningful.
As much as you talked about it, can you tell us a little bit about the treatment that he's getting?
I can talk about general care for burn patients, which is a hard thing, and that's why we really emphasize the importance of preventing burns, making sure that those accelerants and matches are kept away from kids is really, really important, because it is something that involves medicated treatments because of how painful the treatments are.
You said that to make a full recovery. How long would that take?
It's really an individual thing, and that's why we have to see day by day how he's responding to the treatments.
But is it like in terms of weeks, months, or?
It can be weeks to months generally, yeah.
Doctor, can you also just state and spell your first and last name and your title, please?
Sure. My name is Dr. Magna, M-A-G-N-A, Diaz, D-I-A-S as in Sam. And my title is Chair of Pediatrics at Bridgeport Hospital.
Doctor, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
We have one more. I think is an important topic.
No, I think this is clearly a terrible incident. Right, a child has been injured, and I think it really does underscore the importance of fire safety. Keeping flammable materials away from children.
Fuck. They're talking about fire safety and all this crap. Like, bro, he would have did this with anything he could have got his hands on.
I think is an important topic.
No, I think this is clearly a terrible incident. Right, a child has been injured, and I think it really does underscore the importance of fire safety. Keeping flammable materials away from children, keeping matches away from them. An accident, it happens in seconds, and really the best cure is prevention. So please, parents, just be mindful of what is in your house and what access you have to it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
It's ongoing, and hopefully they'll provide as much information as quickly as they can, obviously, to do a thorough investigation. I was just updated on that. We're going to keep going with the parade. Come on. Thank you.
They're coming down.
So there you have it, guys. That's the parade. Heartbreaking, man.
How was the parade? Everybody wants to know, did you love the parade?
I loved it.
Disciplining black kids, males who misbehave in school. I don't hear them concerning themselves about the blacks who are the victims of the people who are doing wrong.
Attention, code red. A bank robbery is in progress. All security personnel.
And the rat doesn't know how to react, and you do this, okay? And you wind up doing it again, or perhaps again. And if once in a while a rat turns viciously on you and just becomes a total vicious killer, which is really what I was, then don't go passing statements of morality saying, well, this was not warranted.